welcome once again to the Cairne Legacy, episode 2 of this new chapter.
Oh my.
Beneath the Mirror Darkly.
Good evening, everyone.
So good to see everybody. So, things are getting interesting. When last we were here, you guys were stepping lightly across the edge of a small island.
Yeah, it wasn't going super well, actually.
Yeah, there was some nervousness there.
So we met a rather strange gentleman.
Oh yeah.
Well, I say met.
he met you.
Experienced. Yes. We were in the midst of experiencing old sticky bones.
Old sticky bones, yeah.
He had just walked right on top of the ORT, or jumped up there, one of those two.
Yeah, I think that's where he was when we left off, is that right?
Yes, and let me check my duration on this. I did initiate a thought stream.
Good.
For everybody, 10 rounds. Okay, so we've got, 40 seconds left, maybe, thereabouts, of mind meld to help us deal with his mental assaults. After that, you're on your own.
I'm sure it's all just a huge misunderstanding.
Obvious.
And you are still in control of the movement, I believe.
Yes, I am still piloting the ORT, but...
Which, based on, I think that actually put us here now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'd be on the north side of the island. That's true. We probably wouldn't exit that hex until we make it off this map screen, in which case we're going to be freestyling a little bit.
Yeah. And remember, to the east of you, there is that ship mass graveyard out there.
We were trying to avoid that out of consideration for Genesis.
Yes. So, what's the plan?
Not die.
Well, it's always the plan, right?
I mean, we are trying to get the hell away from this island, but it looks like we may have to fight old Sticky Bones over here.
Possibly. He is up on the ORT.
But the important question, and the answer might be yes, is he waterproof?
I believe you are going to try and submerge and find out.
Yes.
Keeping in mind that, I think I said this last time, the water in the direction that you're heading, which I believe is about a northeasterly, north by northeast direction, is just shallow enough to cover the ORT. Like, it's not very deep.
Yep. We're kind of on the shallow portion between the island chain here.
Mm-hmm. Which it is still, it's enough to submerge. So, I mean, you would be able to cover the entire craft.
Yes. All things being equal, I would keep piloting the vessel the way we're trying to go.
Okay.
You may assume that we're moving at our usual speed. It is reduced to half because we're not submerged yet.
Correct.
But whenever you feel that enough time has passed for me to increment the step, you let me know.
Okay. So steady on then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think like...
What you
Go
got?
So there are lights, right? On the ship?
Correct.
How are the lights powered? Is there like an electric light system that the boiler contributes to?
Actually, yes. There is a...
So there is
there is electrical generation happening on the ship of some sort. You're not really sure how it works.
Could we use the electricity for the ship to charge the hull?
That would be a lot of electricity.
If we have just a small area.
That's very, very difficult to do. You know, if the hull of this vessel is conductive, and it may well could be, you'd basically be charging the whole thing.
Yeah, including like you guys being inside it. That could potentially be lethal.
I get the feeling that the electrical power of the Orti is not huge. It is running directly on a steam turbine.
Yeah.
Rather than going through a generator.
I didn't think so, but it was worth a shot.
It's not a terrible idea. I mean, obviously, Sticky Bones has made you guys a little nervous. Understandably, he's creepy.
Just a little bit.
I think I showed you guys what he looked like too. The
He's
face.
got a bit of a face on him.
Yeah.
Kind of cute.
He's so adorable.
Well, a Lenway is cute.
So yeah, so we moving north by northeast, trying to shake him, hopefully submerge and knock him off.
Yes, I feel like Uki was doing something, and I don't remember what it was.
What's that?
I don't know. Uki, do you remember what you were doing?
I don't actually. Oh, thank you. Actually, I was ready at the cannon, but the problem is that he jumped over and onto the top of us. So I was ready to fire at him, but that kind of went sideways.
That was a substantial leap he did too. Substantial. So, unless anyone else is going to immediately attempt anything, we're going to push a little ground.
Yes.
All right. So we'll go ahead and take the Orti up. Basically, just you're starting to submerge now. The water starts flowing over the top.
Clarifying question.
Yeah.
Do we actually have like a escape hatch or entry, whatever, on the top, or is it only through the moon pool that we can come in and out? What's our?
We have both.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a hatch that leads immediately into the cockpit. And then,
that's right.
Then the moon pool in the bottom.
Got it. Okay.
So,
And given that I'm up here,
so
go on.
What you got?
go.
He's having some connectivity issues.
He has Discord problems, is what he has.
Yeah. He's got some ISP problems this evening.
Gotcha. So while that's ongoing, I'm up in the bubble up top. Can I see him up here on the hull, or has he slid off the side, sticking?
Are you looking around? Well, that's as much as you do.
Yeah, as I'm piloting, I will take at least one, full moment, one full round to make a check and scan the surface.
All right. So let's see. Give me a perception roll. Let's do that.
All right. Oh wait, you know what I'll do?
What's
Aha. I have a fancy. I will cast green sight upon myself.
Very good. Very good. Green sight.
So I will get ultraviolet and infrared spectrums, and I can make out spectral energy, although I think I can do a certain amount of that anyways as
Yeah.
a spiritualist. So yeah, I got some bonuses. You know the bonuses. You wrote the spell.
Yep. All right.
Now I will roll your perception.
Yeah. Probably won't need to, really. But so, yeah. As you scan around, immediately above you,
Mhm.
he's literally, like, latched on to the glass with his face kind of pressed up against it. You can see, like, this little kind of slime trail as he mirrors his face back and forth across, staring at you.
Ew.
Big, nasty, ochre-stained grin. Thank you, Urban, for the bonus and setback.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he's sitting there just grinning at you. Here's the thing. The moment that you look up with the green sight and kind of lock in on him, his eyes go solid black. And I need you to make a con save, please.
I'll make a con save, but I got a trick I want to pull back at him as long as this doesn't immediately incapacitate me.
Okay. You want to tell me the trick in advance, just in case?
So, let me pop this in chat. Not only can I generally attempt to overwhelm a sentient creature via psychic connection, right now I've actually got some backup because we've got the thought stream going.
Fair. Something
I've got a little more psychic heft behind me than I usually do.
Something we hadn't fully considered before.
Yes.
It's interesting.
But certainly for the actual Ogham hive mind, they can, like, reach through an appendage and then smack you off the face of the earth if they feel like it.
Yeah.
Can I help with this?
Oh,
I was going to ask Genesis for help.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
will be. if
Way
you go
ahead
for
of
it.
you. I mean, if I have access to your thoughts, I already know.
Oh, yeah,
what
you're in.
doing in that, eh?
Well,
You're in here.
first things first.
Yes, con save.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Dang.
My constitution's very high.
Ooh, okay, so. Alright, so, oh my god. Okay, so. You feel something grip you.
Oh.
And of course, everyone in your head is aware of this. You see the eyes go solid black, and you feel something grip you, and you feel your entire body stiffen unnaturally, as if slowly turning to stone. And then just as it's reaching that point where you're like, I can't move, you kind of push through it and shake it off.
That's what happens when you pass you looked at a Gorgon check with 2.
Yeah, it's a little spooky, but he kind of snarls at you at that point and, like, starts crawling. Yeah, go ahead.
Before he manages to crawl away, because he's got the eyes on me, I don't actually have eyes exactly. I got the eyes on him, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and push through
All right.
with the psychic connection.
All right. What are you trying just to overwhelm?
Yes, I'm going to break into his mind with the backing of Genesis and all the rest of my crew here.
All right. So let's decide on what a save like this is going to look like baseline.
Yes. When we did this last, it was on that guy around the dome. And he was pretty fearsome. I think we made him make...
But would almost guarantee to be an intelligence save since
Yeah,
it's
I
psychic.
think he was making int saves. I forget what he was making them against. It might have been contested, and I was doing my own int check. I've honestly forgotten. How would you like it to work?
Let's do an int check. I will let you add +1 for every mind involved.
Oh my, okay.
And a +2 for Genesis.
Oh, all right. Okay, so let me let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. That's a +6.
All right, so +6. Int.
Int +6. All right, we're in there.
Wait, but did you do +2 for Genesis?
I did.
Oh, okay. Then shouldn't that be 7?
Oh, did I miscount?
Well, Lenway hasn't lent. I don't think he's lent his mind to the collective.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you didn't step into the thought stream, did you there?
I thought that Lenway chose to let you in after you knocked his.
Well, that was for
it was his first
communication.
one.
That was just to talk to him.
Yeah, that was just for
earlier.
communication. I don't think he's let you in on that level yet.
Huh. That's weird.
Unless
It is totally weird for somebody to not let some random green guy let you go in
No,
your
I
Yeah.
remember him like tapping on the shoulder. Hypothetically, like I recall him asking you, like, "Hey, you know, I know you're new here, but like," and he listed 3 names of people who hadn't been in the thought stream before, and I thought that was as Uki and Lenway.
Yeah, I felt like I remember like Lenway being in the thought stream because he was calling us like you people are weird like in the
Yeah.
thought stream.
Like we were all talking.
Maybe? I don't know. I don't remember myself.
Me neither.
All right, fine. You're in here. 11
Up
points.
to you. I mean, what do you?
You know, I guess he'd be in there.
Yeah.
I suppose.
All right, I make the roll. It's big.
all right.
It's big.
So
Get squashed. Let's go.
nothing happens.
What?
Ah, okay. So give me the experience here. I see him. He tries to petrify me. Maybe I'm not really sure. I push directly through into his mind with just more psychic force than I've ever been able to muster alone. And what exactly?
It's as if. Okay. So it's as if you got a big, brand new bag of Cool Ranch Doritos, and you're like, these are good. Handful. I got this. I'm gonna nail this entire bag like it's nothing. And then you get that one freak chip that's just hard as a rock out of nowhere, and you clamp down on it, and you're like, oh god. That's what that was like.
Strange.
Good visual, by the way.
And with that, he scampers, almost like a tree frog would. It's kind of what it reminds you of, the movement, except really fast. And then he just over the front of the bubble, and down into the out of sight onto the front of the orty under the water.
All right. Well, if he went down voluntarily, probably it's not going to kill him. But also, I would like to interpret what I have just detected in attempting this. Me personally, I'm picking up the vibe that maybe that is not a creature that has a brain exactly, that has a mind and a consciousness.
Oh, he definitely looked intelligent. You got a sense that there is some intelligence there.
Okay, then he must have some native near-perfect resistance to psychic attack.
It didn't really feel like that either.
Alright. In that case, I would like to roll to interpret.
Okay.
I want what listener is thinking was the proper explanation. Insight check, investigation, your choice.
Let's do insight for this one.
13. See if I can go fishing for a little bit more data.
This is something unlike anything you've ever encountered. In fact, your memory of the hive mind's information, granted, is limited.
Yeah.
But your memory, you don't recall encountering anything like this.
Alright, we've got some sort of novel blighted creature here. That is not going to fall very easily to that sort of attack.
Nope.
All right. Well, I have made my attempt. Everybody has experienced it as well. I continue to pilot.
All right. Anybody else doing anything?
No, I guess not.
No.
So we're
Trying to
stationary.
figure out
correct?
what just happened. Like,
Yeah.
jeez,
No, you're actually starting to pick up speed now that you're
Are
submerging.
starting to-
that's kind of weird.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and move up a hex,
All right.
and that'll bring us off of this map. I believe you are headed towards...
The second island. We were going to round it to the north, I think, to head to Stonebridge.
That's right. So we'll, for now, head back to this map, back to the
Makes
Ortiz.
sense. Yeah, just in the thought stream for the extra little time that we have, Lister and Genesis are going, that guy was so weird. That is possibly a unique creature and a very dangerous one. That is not what brains are supposed to taste like.
Yeah, just grainy. I don't know what that was.
So
Disturbing.
let's see. Everybody's down here. We've got so Uki and Az down in the lower decks, right?
I'm on the middle deck.
Okay. So make
So
sure
that-
make sure we keep our tokens or your
Yes,
tokens.
I'm gonna move it over there.
Okay.
So
So
do
it's,
it again without running up in the water.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was over here, and which way are we headed right now? What I mean is which side is closest to the island? Is it this side where I'm at?
The backside of the Ortiz is closest to the island.
yeah.
This is closest to the island.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm at that cannon there. I'm on the
Okay.
starboard. I thought I was on the port side, but we must have come swung around or something.
That works. So it's just Az down below,
Well, that sounds dangerous.
feeding the boilers.
Nobody ever told me anything was different. So I've just been trying to call.
That works. All right. If everybody is where they are everybodying, Lenway, are you still up in the cockpit?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm the navigator.
All right. I will have to remember that. Okay. So, steady on. The water rushes over. One thing you do notice, especially Lenway and Listener, as you submerge, you hear a lot of impacts. Nothing serious, but like light impacts. And the sound of breaking ice as you're going into the water. You're starting to hit some ice flows. Nothing too serious. It's just this very dark ice that's kind of floating in chunks along the surface. Maybe at most an inch thick. At most.
We can get below these flows, but we may have difficulty surfacing again if it grows thicker.
Is that it? Anybody?
I was just commenting.
That was like a statement. There was like nothing to add on to that. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. So we're just steady carrying on then. Okay. So, in that case, God, do I want to mess with you guys more?
Yes.
Uki, you can hear something scurrying along the outside right above where your cannons are mounted, scurrying along the wall.
Is it making a metallic type noise, or well, okay, that's perception roll, isn't it? Say metallic or like a crustacean that type.
Oh no, it's a soft sound.
Soft sound. I'm hearing something. Okay.
Soft slapping sound.
Yeah.
Soft slapping sound.
Slapping sound. Like flat feet around a pool.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to say, not to alarm anyone, but if you can hear me, and I'm kind of yelling up the stairs as well, we seem to have some stowaways on the outside, perhaps. I'm hearing some noises.
You would have been in the thought stream, so you would have a very good idea what it is.
All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. So is it in addition to the one that you were just these additional noises, or is it from that same?
You're pretty sure it's sticky bones slapping around.
Oh, it's sticky bones. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So, I think we got a unwanted passenger on the outside, which means we should probably secure the moon pool. I'm going to go downstairs. As much as I hate this, as much as Uki cannot stand being in this vessel and being underwater, she realizes that getting out and being ready, steady by the moon pool, probably a good idea, because it won't be the first time something's come up and been a, pain in our butts.
If only that grate hadn't been damaged so badly.
Yeah. Something tells me he would have probably made it through, but okay. So I'm going to come down here and...
Okay.
Against my... Actually, 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to be, like, right about there.
Okay.
He'd like vomit up through the gate or something.
Okay, so Uki gets into a defensive position for the moon pool. Az is steadily serving coal. Lenway is navigating. Listener is driving. Wilhelm is...
I am going to move down to the moon pool.
Alright. Go ahead and move yourself down there. Genesis, what are you doing?
Probably still recovering from the extent of agoraphobia that was imposed by having my brain too minty for a moment.
Okay. That's fair.
Uki says, don't even talk to me about... Oh, you said agoraphobia or claustrophobia?
No, agoraphobia.
Just focusing on putting up walls and making sure people can't see everything inside her brain.
Yeah, well, I think the hive mind is over.
Nice.
Yeah, by this point we've moved out of it. We're well past our 10 rounds.
Mm-hmm. And Saoirse's downstairs too.
She is on the stairs, so she is not going to be like on the bottom floor with everyone else, but she's just going to be like on the stairs, like looking over the railings,
Make a little bit of an attempt here to see how we feel. Fair.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna unlock the door and exit this room here and go upstairs.
Alright, up to the cockpit.
Yes.
Alright, so we've got 3 people and a dead horse in the cockpit.
Sounds like the start of a great joke.
And everybody else down on the bottom. Alright.
I feel like something's about to happen, guys. I don't know.
As flexes and glistens in the light of the furnace.
Yeah.
You're missing the gun show.
What a shame. Oh my god. Imagine missing the gun show.
All right, so interesting. Pets his horsey. Okay, so you guys are moving along. You know the thrum of the furnace and the steam engines and the turning of the gears and the cranks and the crawling of the mechanisms that give mobility to the orty along the floor of the ocean. The occasional thump and thwack of ice or debris or stone. But aside from that, it's very quiet right now.
Yes.
You can kind of there's some tension in the air that you're all feeling.
I keep a lookout across the top side with just my passive perception, basically. I'm focused on driving so that we don't get hit by ice in larger chunks.
Okay. Nothing too huge yet. Do you have your timer going?
I can set it.
Okay. Just give it about maybe a minute from here,
Sure.
and you can move because you've been traveling for a sec.
Of course.
And you're at speed because you are fully underwater at this point, even though it's shallow.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very quiet. Everybody's very tense. Nobody's getting too close to the moon pool. I can tell. Anybody else doing anything?
Just looking at this horse, like, the heck is
Man,
that?
it's a
What you
weird
do?
horse.
What's a horse?
Yeah. You may not have seen one. It's possible.
Do I have to roll to see what I know what a horse is?
No, you would know what a horse is. You just may not have ever seen one in the flesh.
'Cause I think I remember. This is very weird for me to say for a person of a race that travels significantly, but I remember you saying that horses were rare,
They are.
which is why I reacted like that.
I have ticked us forward 1 hex.
Good deal. Good deal. Oh no. Why did that happen? Okay. Pull that back up. So yeah, my lord. There we go. So we are getting close to the next island.
Yes, very.
Have a look here. I have a map for this one too.
Ha-ha.
So I'm going to go ahead and move us to that one. He's not going to make a move on you, if he's even still attached to the Orti. For now. Oh, we're going to need an Orti on this one, aren't we?
Quite possibly.
Let me grab one. Let me just grab one. I got spares.
If only we also had spares.
Boom.
Yeah, speak for yourself, man. I got luck points. Those are the same thing, right?
I mean, it's not terribly off. Where is the thing? There we go. All right. You should be able to see, right? You can see?
Oh yeah, to a certain radius.
Okay, good. So yeah, you can see like the barest edge of the island, the next island coming into view. Once again, to the east, you've still got that horrific, nasty graveyard of ships. As you approach the island,
Yes.
you hear that familiar, wet, slapping, fleshy sound along the side of the Orti, up above you guys, like probably curving around the second middle level. And you hear it kind of scramble up to the top, and then just plop plop plop, launches off of the Orti while you're moving underwater.
Ah, interesting.
However,
He's just island hopping.
However,
However.
let's see here. You're welcome to try and see him. You, Lenway, and Genesis, since
No,
you
I'll
have
make an attempt.
Sure.
you have the 360 vision up there.
Yeah. What do I have that might help? Would my green sight still be going?
What's the duration?
An hour.
1 hour. It'd still be going.
Yeah, you'd still be going.
All right. So keep that in mind, and I will roll perception.
Okay.
Man. He's just too good.
I know, right?
Oh, that's close, Lenway. It's close. Unless
Do you have advantage?
I was about to say, yeah. Do you actually have advantage, or are you just rolling advantage? Because Roll20 likes to do that. Lenway,
Test.
he's still there.
Oh.
Oh, there you
Oops. Yeah, no. I get advantage when it comes to certain things. There was an accident right there, unless he counts as a danger. Does he count as a danger? An environmental danger?
go. Environmental danger? No,
What? He's part of the environment.
he is a danger.
No, okay, that's fine. Nah, it's just 22.
You've transported him to a new ecosystem. He's a danger to this local environment.
He's an invasive species.
So yeah, he disappears in the water, and it's odd. I'll say, like, just for the briefest moment, Lenway, you see the rush of movement as he pushes off into the water, and for just a moment, it's almost like he's swimming and keeping pace with the Orti before banking off to the right. Just a moment. And then he just disappears in the water. It's almost like he's just dissolves into it.
Well.
Well, yeah. I don't think Lenway would report it since he thinks he saw it, but doesn't actually know if he saw it.
Well, I think I'll have listener pilot us in a little closer, at least well enough to see what's up on the island.
All right.
And away he goes.
So you start breaching out of the water
Yes.
at this point.
Is the ice thicker here, by the way?
It is starting to get thicker. As you come up, you actually break a crust a bit. And it's that saltwater ice, if you're familiar.
Yes.
The only weird thing about it, and this is just due to the nature of the water, is the ice is gray to black.
Makes sense.
My kind of colors.
All right, well, what can we see as we start to breach? We've got the lights on. I've got dim light vision out to a pretty decent range.
Oh, yeah.
What are we looking at?
So, as you approach, the first thing you see is the island looks barren. It's just dirt and rock. Obviously, what you can see immediately, however, is a lot of ruin and rubble. From what you're picking up at this range, it's hard to tell a whole lot. Yeah, I mean, you're pretty far out from too much detail at this point.
It's true.
But it's been sitting here for a bit. You don't see any movement, though.
To Lenway. It does not seem as verdant as in your description.
Yeah, it's it's been a while, so the blight did stuff to everything.
Yes, indeed. Do you believe there's anything here worth going ashore for? Otherwise, we can simply transit around.
Well, I honestly wouldn't know. Unless they have some magical food that doesn't spoil, I think this place is probably not worth it. But we could always explore for whatever else might be here, other supplies that we need to travel.
I believe the primary supply that we're in need of is food for those that eat. I do not like our chances. Genesis, what do you think?
I think that eating anything in this area would be a death sentence.
Very well.
This close to the blight?
Maybe not. No? Yeah.
So we just need to find something that was, I don't know. I'm not good at foraging.
Not ruined.
Wilhelm, what do you think?
You'll have to hail him over the intercom system.
Right, because he's not up here. Paging Wilhelm. Can you weigh in on our lack of food, please? Over.
Well, the standard humanoid can last roughly 3 weeks without food. Problem is, the water would also be a bigger concern.
Water I can manage.
Yeah.
How much?
One sec while you guys talk. Be right back.
Pretty substantial amounts. That is a cantrip, so if I have, a free hand, I can just summon us flasks of water. I can easily get us all, standard consumption even for very hot conditions. Like we could be down in 1 or 2 liters a day each, easy.
This is Hollow Haven that we're speaking of, right?
Yeah, this one's Hollow Haven, pretty sure.
So Uki is going to say, to the best of my knowledge, this island has been quite sparse. In fact, when I left on my journey from Stonebridge, it was recommended not even come out here. So perhaps we should venture forth Stonebridge, because I know that there'll be plenty of provisions and water there as well.
There is one other thing that we might be able to gather. I need supplies.
It seems quite barren. Even medicinal herbs might be a bit of a stretch for this place.
keep in mind, and I know I haven't expanded on this in the source material very much, barren in Cairne doesn't necessarily mean devoid of vegetation. The vegetation that exists is mutated a lot. Some of it's very dangerous, some of it's very toxic, but some of it is still very useful, and Wilhelm has the ability to get those herbs that are mutated and are still useful in locations like this. Just to throw that out there.
Okay.
This is something I'm working on expanding, so...
It may still not be worth it, as we would get into fights here, but not at Stonebridge.
Has Hollow Haven's name been name dropped at all?
I think... Lenway, did you drop the name?
Out loud, where Saoirse would have heard it.
I mean, I should have map that had the name on it.
Yeah. We talked about it briefly, I think.
Yeah, just Saoirse would not have heard that particular bit of conversation, because I remembered that happening. I was just wondering if anything was said over the intercom, or, like, you know, in a way that Saoirse could hear the name Hollow Haven.
I don't think we specifically said the name, no.
But why don't you go ahead and assume yes, because that seems like more fun.
Was there something you know about Hollow Haven that you wanted to share with the crew?
I mean, you said last session that, you know, Hollow Haven was a place that Shawnekeejans used to go in vacation. I'm sure Saoirse would have heard stories about it from her parents.
Most likely. In fact, I tell you what, we'll be fair about it. We'll say you did hear about it. Let's give an advantaged history roll.
Okay, but Saoirse didn't even hear anyone say the name Hollow Haven, so...
Yeah, but you were part of a group mind meld.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
So
While
I'll let
Lenway
it
was
go.
navigating.
I'll let it go. We'll say you did. Yeah. Yeah, you're familiar with... At one time, this was a paradise, more or less. Hollow Haven was... It was gorgeous. It was like an artist's retreat where people would go and explore inspiration and paint and write and compose new music. It was a beautiful conservatory, and just all the arts were practiced here, and some of the greatest works of Shawnekeesian history were produced here.
So Saoirse is going to go up to the top where Listener, Genesis, and Lenway are, and look out.
Okay. Well, as you can see from here, it's a little desolate. Now, not quite what you were told it was. Not entirely an unexpected thing, though, either, given what's happened and how much time has passed.
I think Saoirse would have, like, you know, expected it to not be like the stories that her parents told her, but at the same time, like, you know, it's still, like, something that featured hugely in Shawnekeesian cultural history, so she just wanted to come see it.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll just, like, look out and give just sort of a bit of a despondent sigh. She looks out over, like, what could have been.
That's fair. So, is the Orty coming to a halt, or are you...
I would probably be bringing her around, turning left here to transit that side of the island.
All right. Are you going to breach land, or keep it in the water?
Keep it in the water for the moment. We don't have any good reason to make landfall here. Everybody's opinion broadly is it wouldn't be worth it, and Wilhelm has voiced the only really good reason to stop, and hasn't done so, you know, quite adamantly yet.
That is a good reason. I will, and not trying to encourage, but him being skint on supplies is serious.
But if this is a danger, especially if that one figure, it might be better to... we have to weigh. Yes, without supplies I cannot heal. But if we don't get hurt, then I don't need to.
See? That's the big brain. That's the 20th benevolent right there.
Yeah. It's a bit of a catch-22. Without the supplies, I can't heal, but if we don't get hurt, I won't need to. But if without supplies, I can't heal. All right, so
These are the decisions.
we're banking the island then. That's the
Yeah.
plan.
Banking the island. I would like somebody to call down to watch. Do we have a single window out the back of this thing?
Nothing out the back, but you have
No.
360 vision where you're at on the cockpit.
Yeah.
I will say, can you see this?
I can see that. Yeah, that's in my visual range.
Okay. So Saoirse can see this too.
It's on my map, so.
Okay. I'm just making sure like what you can see versus what I can see. Saoirse, as you're coming around and you're looking out, and I imagine there's a wistful sense to this, you know, a piece of your history, and it's just in ruin.
Yeah.
Which this is the travesty of your people. Everything that you once had is in ruin. Looking out, as you're coming around, the light kind of catches the statue, the remnants of it, tattered and toppled and broken. And it appears to be a statue of King Fuelen. Or at least it was at one time. The last king of Shaniki. And it's just more of a historical interest than anything, I say that.
Yeah. As a statue of the last king of the Shawneesians, King Fuelen, back when we still had a society and still had rulers.
Is it better to have a king?
Well, I suppose that depends on your stance on everything, but I mean, we Shawneesians, we don't even have a society anymore. Just several small outcrops, settlements, villages, just scattered.
Lenway is sitting there going, yeah, I remember that dude's coronation.
And this is the first time that Lenway has actually seen Saoirse, because she kind of like got on the ship, past the horse, and then just kind of holed up like into a room to be sad for a while.
Yeah.
Do you remember your horrible advice? That wasn't actually your advice, though.
Yeah, he's heard her voice, not seen her face.
So, carrying on, as you're banking the island.
Yes.
The building immediately to your right there, east of you, as you can tell, it's circular. At one time, at one time, this thing must have been just breathtaking architecturally. It's perfectly smooth brickwork, and it's staggered bricks. It's not a repeating pattern. From what you can tell, the bricks are all different sizes, different shapes, and yet still somehow smooth and perfect. The parts of the wall that remain. At one time, it must have been a dome work, and at the top there was probably a huge glass and steel lattice work that covered the top. This was at one time the conservatory. As you're coming around the side of the island, you begin to hear very faintly, at the edge of hearing, this very soft, lilting melody It's as if there's a choir singing somewhere.
Oh no. I'll let it tick forward just a little bit
Mm-hmm.
further. Is there anything visible around the building? It's the only place I think could be the source.
Nothing that you can see. You don't see any movement at all.
Do you hear that?
Yes, everyone.
Very weird.
I do, yeah.
Saoirse,
Yes.
can you give me a perception check, please?
Normal?
Yes. Okay. Saoirse,
Yeah.
I believe you are the only one that speaks it, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, feel free to correct me, anyone.
If it's Shawnee-Kijin, Wilhelm also speaks it.
Okay. In that case, Wilhelm, you can give me a perception roll as well.
Do that.
They're always optional. Of course. Wilhelm and those perception rolls, my God.
He knows what he's about.
However, I will say both of you pick out that the singing is in Shawnee-Kijin, and it is a flawless language of it, or a flawless use of the language. Like, even when Wilhelm uses Shawnee-Kijin, you can tell it's a learned language, Saoirse, you know?
Yeah, like it's not his native language.
Yeah. These are
Saoirse,
native.
Saoirse, it's her first language.
Exactly. So yeah, these you can tell these are native speakers singing in a choir format. And as you're rounding the island, and it gets a little louder as you go, just a little, nothing crazy, the melody shifts and changes. And it's almost as if they're changing time signatures from a 7/8 to a cut time to standard time to 3/4 time back to 7/8. They're shifting keys and singing in like augmented minors and moving into like diminished eighths. Like, it's really crazy and intricate with the way that this is working. And it becomes more and more intricate as you go. It's enough to make your head spin. And Saoirse, as a musician, this is more than you're used to. This is beyond even what your parents used to play for you. And granted, they were just two, and this is an entire choir.
Got the damn jazz polyrhythm choir sitting here on the island in the middle of nowhere.
We're going to bump you up a little more.
She's just kind of sitting there listening, like looking out the domed window. She's entranced for a second. Not like, properly magically entranced, but she's just like wistfully picturing like what it must have been like in the pre-blight days.
Yeah, of course.
How are we looking for spiritual activity?
You do not see anything at this point.
Okay.
Granted, your field of vision is limited to what you can see. As you're coming around, though, this is coming into vision, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So as the light begins to illuminate this statue, once again, it's toppled and broken like the other one. This, at one time, appears to have been a statue of Queen Bridget.
Ooh. Oh, shit.
Not meaningful to people here generally.
No.
At least not in the same way.
No.
No.
But these were the last royals of the Shawnee-Kijin Empire.
Oh, and that was Queen Bridget. It's the last queen of the Shawnee-Kijins.
Should I play the song?
The song is
No,
optional.
no. I think we're good.
Poor,
The song is optional.
poor Master Miss.
Would Saoirse know that song was connected to Queen Bridget? Because she does sing it.
I would, yeah, I would say so. We'll call that Bridget's tune.
I'll say she begins to hum it.
Okay. Give me a performance roll.
All right.
Blink.
That I've got a racial ability on that.
Oh yeah, 28.
Nice.
28, ladies and gentlemen. 28.
Big dang.
That was really good. So, oh, that's too bad. It's giving me grief. So, the song catches everyone.
You are intricate, forbidden fantasy.
But yeah, it will, that roll especially will be enough to trigger a pause. All eyes will be on Saoirse in this moment.
And so it seems we're sinking into our own elusive dreams, it seems.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
My eyes were already there anyway, bro. I don't know what you mean all eyes would turn, bro. Like, hello?
So,
Well,
as she sings this song, listener,
yes.
first only a few, and then another and another, 3 or 4, 5, 6 more spirits begin to stand up as if just coming up out of the earth, all around the conservatory, all throughout your field of view. They're all staring directly at the ortie and moving, swaying in time with Saoirse's song. Now, granted, you're the only one that can see this,
Yes.
but you can see it.
I can see that. I begin to turn the ortie slightly.
Okay?
Just sort of bringing us closer to going on shore, almost without thinking about it.
Okay. They, there's no malevolence here, from what you're seeing. It's almost as if the song has pulled them up from a quiet rest.
Now that is going to interest listener more than anything, because he probably hasn't seen a properly restful spirit before. I know we definitely haven't encountered one at all in the campaign. They've all been pretty well fucked up.
Pretty well, yeah. Yeah, not gonna lie.
So he will say this to Saoirse, because he's going to need to pick her brain about it. He says, "Your people are here. Their spirits, at least, rise from the land. Why couldn't I see them before? Were they sleeping?" The dead do not sleep.
Well, listener, our people, we have a certain tradition. Whenever a Shawnakesian passes, Well, before they pass, what they do is they sing a final song that they compose there on their deathbeds. And it's an a cappella song, very highly ornamented, and one person is said to be the carrier of the song. And what we do is, after they sing their song and their bodies have passed on, we cremate their bodies and put it in an urn. And what we used to do is we would carry the urns down to passage tombs on the Isles of Shawnee. But after the blight, we haven't been able to access them. So what we all do is we make a trek down to a passage tomb that some of us constructed at the edge of the bog. And we place our dead inside of that tomb. And we go out and face the entrance of the tomb. And we sing their final song back at them. And this is said to be a promise to the dead, to the deceased, that their memory will live on in the song, in the hearts and minds that the song has touched. And it's said that once that's done, the spirits of our people can rest. Though I don't know if there would be anyone resting on this island, because if they died before the blight, then their spirits would already have been put to rest in any of the tombs on the Isles of Shawnee. Anyone after the blight, their soul would have been laid to rest. The one outside of the bog close to the Greenland's commonage. If all of my people died on here in the blight, then I feel like their spirits should have been roaming around.
Fascinating. Certainly these must have died after the blight. I've yet to see one from before. And yet, they are very peaceful.
Though, the real kicker is,
Yeah.
do the Shawneekian spirits have scars?
Church?
You're not really that close. It's hard to tell.
True. We're getting closer, though.
Yeah, it's hard to tell at this distance. They are still all standing, though. Even when the song ends. Following the movement of the Orti. Yeah, it is a racial thing. Post blight, it's a racial thing. They're born that way.
Although, do they see themselves like as that? Is it part of who they are, or is it just part of what they?
Post blight, yeah, it's very much part of who they are.
Okay.
It's they're marked.
Like Saoirse's been scarred up since the first day you saw her.
Yeah.
When Genesis pulled back her hood.
But I kind of wonder if you wouldn't see yourself in the afterlife as the most perfect version of yourself. Depends on if you're vain about it or not. You know, if it's part of something that you think detracts from who you are, or if it's something that identifies you. You know.
Well, and that's a
one of them fascinating questions.
Yeah, that's a deep question. Not gonna lie. Very deep question.
Like,
I will say in this particular instance, because they are literally a blighted race, that it's deeper than flesh. In this particular instance. But I get where you're coming from. But
So yeah, this is sufficient temptation for me. I have been tempted.
Okay.
I am attempting to bring the Orti ashore.
All right. Go ahead and move her ashore wherever you like.
There's probably a good spot.
All right.
Oh, hey, look, it's a guy.
He's not actually there. Don't pay any mind to him.
Whoa. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain
Don't-
or on
don't-
the shoreline at this point in time.
Don't worry about him. He's fine.
Nah, there's nobody there. What do
So-
you mean?
So you drag the Orti ashore. It lurches, and as it normally does. This thing hates being on the ground.
Not huge about it.
As your lights come to bear, you illuminate these tattered remnants of old raggedy tents, some old broken fishing style boats, sunken and scattered amongst the earth and stone. This is not part of the original settlement. You can tell, because 100-year-old canvas left in this type of condition.
Gone.
Yeah. It's still ragged as hell, tattered as hell, but not gone. So yeah, the Orti kind of comes to a halt, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. You
I
can see
must.
the larger building there too now,
Yes.
much more clearly.
I must discover what allows the spirits here to rest in such a way.
Over the course of my travels, would I know from just looking at that who would have made it?
What, the tent?
Yeah, design wise, what people may have. I don't know if it's anything. That's what I'm asking. Basically, if it's anything specific about it that I'd be like, oh yeah, definitely these people made it.
Let's see. If you don't mind saying this openly, if you do, you can send me a tell. How old are you?
That is a question.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but I know I made a little thing. So give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't. Okay, hold on. I'll message you.
Okay. And while he's getting that, I will ask: is anyone planning on getting out of the Orti?
Oh yeah, I'm getting out the Orti.
Okay.
Not instantly. I have to confer with the crew first.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is get your minis ready, real quick. Let me get a good instance of them with their vision enabled.
You know what's going to be fun, and that Master Miss is going to be very mad about?
What's that?
In order to both keep the Orti secure and to mount any sort of expedition, we're going to have to split the party.
Oh no.
Fuck you!
We literally can't seal the Orti against sticky bones because the moon pool is just open. And he can climb because he's got sticky bones.
This is true.
I mean, every word of what I just said.
All two of them.
I refer you to my earlier remarks.
I don't know if I have a whole group of you. Here, I'll do this real quick while you guys converse. Go on.
Sure.
We'll say Lenway. Just ignore what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's fair. So, listener is going to make his way down.
If the argument is that we can't secure the ship and explore, why is that the argument?
Because I want to explore.
Why can't we Oh, you don't know about that yet. Hang on. Okay. I'll wait till we have that conversation. Hang on.
I'm heading downstairs to start that conversation. Yes, you can stop shoveling coal. You're good, Az.
Okay. Well, I can just project my consciousness to where you guys are, and then keep my body on the ship, right? Would that suffice in securing?
Do you
Ship,
think
so
that
we
you
don't-
can fend off old Sticky Bones alone?
Do I think any of us can fend off old Sticky Bones
Alone.
without a way to communicate with anybody else, right?
I think alone is the key word there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I plan on searching for herbs.
Yes.
I would think, I would think that if we're bringing the Orti ashore, out of water a little bit, then it's be a lot easier to spot Sticky Bones if he tries to go into it. Plus, he might be more interested in us anyway than he would be getting into our.
He's got like 150-foot running jump.
Mm. Yeah.
That is a little creepy, isn't it?
That dude soared off that island. So you might spot him, but he'll be coming real fast.
Well, what's worse, him getting into the Orti while we're inside of it in a small enclosure, or being outside and maybe having a. Well, Uki's all for having firm ground under her feet and the ability to use weapons that she should not use inside the Orti.
That's fair.
So she'd be more likely to go ashore. We just don't want to come back and find another stowaway on the Orti. This one much less friendly.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
can
not
Az-
secured at all.
Can Az have know your enemy from having observed Sticky Bones through the hive mind?
Know your enemy?
Yeah, it says at least 1 minute. We had 1 minute of observing Sticky Bones in a hive mind.
I'd consider it. Real quick, Az, you're the only one with dark vision, aren't you?
I have dark vision from the Arcanist levels. It's limited, but it's there.
Okay, what is yours?
Mine is... Let me find my sheet.
You're also the one I'm missing.
$30 of dark and 60 of low light.
Okay.
And then
That's
if I
the old
green
token.
side, I've got like 1 million.
Oh, that's just the one that's attached to his character sheet.
Yeah.
I'm talking about mine.
That's the one attached to yours.
Really? Because it's updated on the Orti map.
Well, no, that's the Orti map. Like, this is the one. I just pulled these off your character sheets.
Yeah, I hate that we can't change our own tokens. That sucks.
It's alright. We'll get it. We'll get it. Night vision. Alright. So. Did I not get your name in there? Did not.
Wilhelm's token is just very slightly larger.
There.
All right.
Alright, so everybody's tokens. Let's do this real quick. Before we start moving everywhere. I'm just gonna bring you guys right down here. Okay.
Yes. All right. So,
Our
open
name.
question.
Yes,
Do we want to split the party, or do we want to just accept that the ship might be infiltrated by Sticky Bones while we're gone?
We do have a tendency to have the ship infiltrated. It has happened multiple times.
Well, can't we
Yeah.
secure it? Can't we use some of the rigging netting that's inside the Orti that we have there to go ahead and close off from beneath? Because in that way we come back, we'll see see if it's disturbed?
I mean, probably.
Up to you if you want to risk it.
Sound off in chat. All for splitting the party.
I'm kind of for it, to be honest.
All right, that's one. I would vote for it.
I vote for it.
I would
fine.
vote for it, but he would be definitely in the not staying.
You want to get out and see the world?
Yeah, that, and I don't think you guys would trust the dude just met to sit in the RT for you.
It's fine. You probably couldn't pilot away on yourself. That's actually kind of a saving grace here, is that it takes a bare minimum of 2 to pilot the RT.
I have a horse.
Can your horse shovel coal?
Probably.
I have my doubts.
Oh.
Alright, so who wants to go? Listener is definitely in the away team on this one. He is very much inclined.
Saoirse's on the away team.
I'm on the away team.
I will remain here with the RT and with pitch in hand, which means that anyone who stays behind needs to be aware of my intent to use it and its radius.
Gotcha. Az is one of our 2 confirmed powerful fighters. And Uki is staying.
And where's Wilhelm?
Going
Coming
with.
because he wanted to get herbs.
Right.
Okay. So, let me do this real quick. Excuse me. Do this. Boom. Doom, doom, boom. Okay.
Is it the King of Ash and Bone?
That would be funny. Guess who's back?
Generally, yes. Outside voice absolutely needs a bodyguard. He does not fight people, and the 2 people confirmed coming with him don't do that either.
Just updating these minis real quick.
Of course, of course. Genesis, if you astral project, can you telepathically communicate with me?
I can do everything that I can do normally.
Perfect. So we can, in fact, maintain communications link between the 2 zones. If you stay on the
you
RT
could-
and astral
you could-
project out.
You could do that if I project, or you could do it if I don't. But, you know.
It's a bit more of a struggle if we don't, because I need line of sight. Like the thought stream is a special case. My regular telepathy requires line of sight.
There we go. Those are updated. So we have what, 3 people, 4 people going ashore? Listener, Saoirse, Wilhelm, and Az going ashore, and Lenway, Uki, and Genesis staying aboard.
Okay, yeah.
I guess.
Or are you all going? Just so I know.
I guess I'd stay, since I'm the only other one here that's not gonna die in like 3 hits.
Uki will survive to the 4th hit.
Uki's tough.
I can.
Split the party. Split the party. Split the party.
I mean, and we've already talked about this in the other game, so I'm just gonna say the same thing over and over again. Fine.
Yeah, I've still got single-digit hit point.
Yeah. All right. I mean, right? This
Say
is what we're
single
gonna do. This
digit?
is what we're gonna do. You know.
Yes, single digits.
You stand in the back this time, no rushing to the front foolishly.
I never rush foolishly. I just protect other people.
All right. Well, if this
Right,
is
so
if this is what's going, then we're gonna kind of
this is
stick the
what-
rest
this is
of
what
you
we're
here.
As in here, maybe we should spend another 6 months napping. Nah, this is a really good argument for collecting the herbs now.
Yeah.
Because nobody here is going to heal better than 1 hit point a day without them.
All right.
Well, I mean you and I, but we don't count.
Well, we've upped Wilhelm's healing, so you guys are aware.
Yeah.
We decreased Genesis's.
Oh, sad.
It's still high.
What's
but
that?
Whatever.
It's a D8 now.
And mine went from a D6 to a D4, bro.
Yep.
I still have my proficiency bonus. I'm still out taxing all of y'all.
No, you don't get a proficiency bonus on your heals anymore.
Oh! Oh! It's just a dice roll.
It's
bro.
just a dice roll.
What the hell?
Just roll that d4.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a support healer in a pinch.
Cry.
All healer.
Yeah.
The flex support in Overwatch.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wilhelm
God.
is still the beefcake healer. So, which is
D8 plus 2.
that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
Which for
Yeah.
the 1 hit point a day healing normally, D8 plus 2 is huge.
Yeah.
Yep.
So okay, so we have our away team, we have our home team. Genesis, are you astral projecting? Use them points. Use them points.
Okay.
Let's use them
First
all
of
up.
all- First of all, no, stop. Second of all, I don't know. I don't know.
What's your call?
So we're gonna do a little bit of a check here.
And
That's a lot of wisdom.
it's a lot of wisdom.
So, what I'm worried about here is balancing the necessity of this, because projection. This I don't know why it didn't do the chat, but hang on. I have all of these in macros. I don't know why they're not. Hello? Can you?
I see you.
Okay. Right. I feel like this is a high level ability. Do I want to do this? Like, cause I don't know. The tether thing is what bothers me, right? Because not only do I have to make sure that the party is safe, that the ship is safe, but I also have to keep
Make
that
sure you're
tether.
safe.
Right. I have to keep that tether. I have to keep my body safe.
Yeah, you're not making it back, most likely, if that tether gets severed. That's the end of Genesis.
And you're just into the deep abyss darkness too, right?
Yeah, you're basically trapped in the spirit realm at that point, except not dead.
I can maybe do something about that.
Possibly. If she can
Can I-
find you.
With this role, can I ask one very obscure question?
Go ahead, what you got?
If the tether got broken, and this is a big if, could I do the thing I was asking you about before without saying what it was?
Oh god, you probably gonna have to refresh my memory on that one.
We'll deal with it when it happens then. How about that?
That's fine. Danger is danger.
Yeah. If it happens, then I'll ask you about it in more detail.
Mhm. And there's not a lot of things that are going to sever that tether. Just the things that can are very dangerous. But it's Cairn.
Yeah, we got danger everywhere. That's
Yeah.
what we do here.
Kenny Loggins plays every time you wake up in the morning.
Yeah. Shall we take our break before we start exploring?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's up to you guys. I see what you're saying, Master Miss. In that case, no. That would not happen.
Rip. Okay.
Would you guys like to take the
union break?
The court-mandated break?
Let's do, I think.
All right. In that case, we will take a quick break. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors. Please stay tuned.
Don't touch that dial.
Don't touch that dial.
Why do you have a dial on your computer? You're so weird.
It's steampunk.
It's my aesthetic, damn it.
We'll be right back. All right. So, we have our away team. Go ahead and set yourselves up in a marching order, if you would.
Okay. I think, Az and I out front, collectively we have a lot of hit points.
This is true. All right. Now, listener, as you come ashore and you exit the Orti, one thing you're going to notice, you specifically, is that the specters all along the beach, and they number more than you can count. It's a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
As you exit the Orti, they part, and every one of them puts a hand over their heart and bows their head as you guys pass.
Ooh, I walk up to one.
Okay.
Yeah. Typically, I can speak with spirits. I simply try to address one.
What do you
Open
say?
up the connection and say hello.
Are you... Yeah, you're doing a mental connection with this thing.
Yeah, that's the only way I've got.
Okay. Okay. Give me a con save.
Oh, okay. Shit. Somebody poisoned these Shanakesians. Is this some form of unintentional effect?
Yeah.
You know, just kind of a natural thing that they do. It makes sense.
It's not an attack, no.
All right. I do not get advantage on saving against that just yet. That's a much higher level of spiritualist.
Okay. Yeah, you are, Lenway. I saw that.
Ooh, 12. Not as high that time.
Okay. Hog moment, yeah. So, listener, as you reach out mentally,
yes,
you are immediately just flooded with an emotional response, the likes of which you have never experienced from a singular entity. And it rages just between terror and despair and loneliness and loss and anger. Just this weird, like, it's like somebody took each one of these emotions as if they were paint, splattered a canvas, and then just angrily smeared them around all over your mind. And it's overwhelming. Like, you buckle.
Ooh, okay.
Saoirse,
Yeah.
you being empathically open as you are, you can feel it as that connection's made, but not from the spirit. You feel it hitting listener. This confused sense of what the hell. Wait, why do we have 2 tokens for listener?
It just
You
sort of showed
gave
up.
me the shiny new one, I think.
Yeah, okay. So this is the old one. Let me get rid of the old one.
Yes,
Yeah.
the silvery one was the old one.
There we go.
Yeah, so Saoirse is going to...
He
sort of-
buckles. You see him buckle.
Yeah, Saoirse is going to sort of hastily, like, walk up and then get down on her knee and, like, you know, place her hand on listener's back and say, "Are you okay, listener?"
He's unable to respond for a moment. None of that emotion was showing on the spirit's face, right?
No, he never moved.
So, from the ground, listener thinks up at you. Perhaps they are not as well as they seem.
No, I imagine they never had the opportunity to be laid to rest with their song.
Well, I'm never one to shy away from, pain and torment in the pursuit of knowledge. I will try again.
Okay. You gonna
wish
reach
to-
out again?
Yes, I wish to steel myself. I know it's coming this time. I'm trying to make a connection. There is still sentience inside the spirits. Listener knows this. It's just buried pretty deep sometimes.
All right. Give me another con save.
All right. Because I've got Saoirse here, who has empathic, like, class abilities, can I have any bonuses?
Is Saoirse using any ability that would give you a bonus?
I don't know.
Let's see. Because I didn't update the musician class because our puppy has been a fad. I'm still rolling with like the old abilities. Maybe I can push an airworm onto listener to calm him.
Well, here's the question. Is Saoirse aware, first off, that he's trying again, and secondly, of what exactly is going on, aside from maybe they're not well?
Listener politely informs people when he does stuff, so he was he was on a call, basically.
That's what I mean, would she know to reinforce you?
He would say, all right, I'm going to try again.
Okay. That works. In that case, let's just say you do an empathic performance. Saoirse.
Yeah.
And we'll give him advantage on his save.
Oh, thank you.
A calming one.
Wait, what? Why did,
fucking token.
why did that pop up again?
I don't know.
I have been summoned.
Did
Wasn't me.
That is weird. Because I'm literally like deleting it. It's so weird. Roll 20 being wonky. There's ghosts in Roll 20.
Big dang con save.
Yeah. So you managed to steal yourself. And so rather than block it out, because it's too intense to block, with the calming effect of Saoirse's empathic performance, what you manage to do is sift it. So you're basically like organizing the insanity of the confusion.
I'm just stacking it all up in the vast empty space of my own mind. I'm like, okay, sorrow goes over here.
Exactly.
Rage goes over here.
So you manage to kind of streamline it into cognitive streams rather than a confusing jumble. So, that being said, there is still a lot of varied data coming through all at once.
Okay.
And it's still very hard to focus on what the whole picture is. Is there any one particular stream of emotion that you want to try and grab now that you're focused and calm? Welcome back, Master Mist.
Oh, welcome back. Let's see. What did we have? They're very sad about something. They're very confused about something. They're very angry about something.
There's rage, despair, confusion, and anger. We'll break it down to those simple four.
Give me the confusion.
Okay. The confusion is you get the sense that this individual was under the impression that someone told them they would be safe here. And they're confused because they weren't.
Okay, and this is fairly obviously post-Blight Shanakeishan. I am right up close. I could see scars.
There are no scars.
Oh, no scars.
No.
All right. Okay. Now it's coming together. Now something's making sense. Though it is a little surprising that they responded this way as we approached. Can I get more, or what's our situation?
You can try and focus in on another stream.
All right. I will take the rage.
Rage. The rage stems from a betrayal. A sense of very strong betrayal at whoever told them they would be safe here. You get the sense
might
that this.
expect.
You get the sense that this wasn't a mistake. It was an intentional thing. Somebody sent this man to his doom.
I'll keep fishing. I'll look through to see if I can discern the shape, the name, the image of this target, the spirit's anger. One would hope that it would loom large in his mind.
It does and it doesn't. The image is clouded at best. The most I can tell you is it's feminine with dark hair. You can kind of get that sense of a dark mantle of hair.
I glance back and forth between the spirit and the shattered statue of Bridget that we're standing next to.
Well, there's no color in the statues.
Of course. We're down to the Roman type now. All the paint's gone.
Yeah, long gone. Blight makes excellent paint thinner. A lot of people don't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I think an artist would disagree.
Fair play. Fair play.
Let's see. I'll take the sorrow as well if I can get it.
Sorrow?
Yeah.
Sorrow
They're
is
dead and everybody they knew.
Sorrow is watching over 1,000 of his countrymen and women and children perish on this island. Over 1,000 dying.
Presumably in the blight.
You don't really get a sense of what killed them, but it's a fair assumption.
Yes. I think there was anger left. If there is something for anger, I'll take it. If not, I'll disconnect.
No, you got anger already. The anger
All right.
is the betrayal.
Of course. So I withdraw from the spirit. I stack back up his emotions for him. Here, you may need these later.
Okay.
I've still got Saoirse on the call. And I ask, was there historically a betrayal here? Have your people recalled this place?
Would Saoirse know anything? Because
As
I
far-
figured that all surviving Shawneesians were, not on the Isles
here.
of Shawnee when the blight fell. I feel like they would be ignorant, but
Well, I mean,
that-
Shawneesian history post-Blight is spotty at best. There were so few of you left afterward, and they were incredibly scattered, and nobody is keeping any records beyond the occasional meet and greet at like Soliloquy or Coda. Ironically, the best records, which you probably wouldn't have access to, are the ones kept by the Burnt Crows. And that's just because it's a matter of pride with them. If Slaughter were here, she'd
Right.
probably have a good shot.
yeah.
Um,
So,
But yeah, you have no knowledge in your historical memory. Your parents never told you about a betrayal. Not a betrayal by of this nature.
I wouldn't know, listener. There were no stories passed down to me from my parents or any Shawneesian of a betrayal out of our people.
Well, that being the case, then he takes a moment to very quickly, serial multicast out to everybody that the spirits here seem calm and orderly, but this one, at least, likely all of them, were betrayed and died very angry. Perhaps additional caution.
Well, what are they doing, listener?
They seem to be bowing to her, right?
Well, I mean, it's all of your general direction. It's hard to target a single person for that.
Yeah, it's fair. So I will simply say, they are arrayed along the beach in orderly ranks this way and that, and they appear to be bowing to us.
Saoirse, like, a look on her face, like, knowing that these are Shawneesian spirits, like, she looks touched. She looks very emotionally touched and, like, is going to put both of her hands over her heart gently and just kind of, like, tilt her head down, and then she'll just say, "You know, I do wonder why. Why are they bowing?"
It is most unusual for spirits. They're often lost in their own little worlds. But that little interlude concluded. I think we had to check in. Master Miss, did you have Genesis Astral Project?
No.
Okay.
All right. Just had to
I
check.
would say that's too high of a risk for too little of a reward.
Okay, that's fair. Very fair.
Oh.
All right. So are you guys moving on? Moving in? Moving up? Moving
Yeah,
out?
yeah. We're poking about.
All right. Let's show me what direction you're going.
Let's poke tentward first, I guess.
All right. So you head in towards the encampment. You guys can go ahead and move up to the red tent if you'd like. Should illuminate a good bit more there. So as you can see, the tattered remnants of the tents, they're barely hanging on. Every time there's a breeze blowing, you hear the sounds of the tattered canvas kind of flapping in it. There's an odd smell here as you get closer. A very tainted, kind of foul smell, decay. Old decay. You're standing at the outside of this big red tent. You can see the two other ones, the remnants of what was a cook fire, more of the shattered remains of what looked like smaller vessels, skiffs, fishing. Oh my god. I'm just leaving him.
You can just chill there, it's fine.
I don't know why it keeps reappearing. But
Bonus listener.
Bonus listener. Duplicity. But yeah, there's no movement in the area. The spirits are all over the place here. As you move, like I said, they part, kind of hand on chest, head bowed, and as you pass by them, they close in behind you. It's almost like they're closing ranks behind you as you go.
That would actually probably make it very hard for a listener to see very far away.
It is a little distracting because you are consistently surrounded.
Yes.
Basically.
Everybody else, no difference.
Mm-hmm. It's that old horror movie trope for a lot of people. Knowing that you're surrounded by ghosts, but no one can see them.
Only I.
Only you.
Saoirse will just kind of look around, look behind her, wishing that she could see the spirits of her people, but, she just can't.
You can. There is a way. Listener could show you.
I can.
True facts.
That mental connection is not just verbal.
Yes, I've pushed many images over it. To as, I'll respond. The many dead of the Shawneesian. They are absolutely everywhere. This place must have been covered with them when the blight came down. I assure you, the spirits are here. And I push him the image. See?
As you can now see what he sees.
Just for the moment, just as I send it to you. They do not appear hostile, and so long as they are merely the disembodied spirits, they likely couldn't interact with any of you.
Hopefully.
I have yet to see this, though there's always a first time.
So real quick, I will say, since you can see this direction as well.
Yeah.
So, right here at one time, there must have been a very large, ornate gate. There's remnants of it, kind of hanging there. But it's wide open now. From what you can see inside, back here, is another shattered remain of what must have been a very young but very beautiful woman. And the shattered remnants of an incredibly intricate, ornate candelabra, or chandelier, excuse me, lays on the floor. Amongst the rubble. Saoirse, if you can see that, I assume you can.
No, it's a solid black shadow.
Okay.
Like covering like a large majority of my screen.
Okay, yeah, so your vision is impaired, most likely, because of the lack of... Do you have a phosphor stone? You want to pull that out?
Yeah, I mean, she'll definitely use a phosphor stone if she has it.
Okay. I'll give you some light then.
I think I may have given my stone to someone else temporarily, but I'd assume I would have it back now.
That's fine. There you go.
I think she'd want to see all this.
Wilhelm, you have one too, though, don't you? You want me to fire yours up as well?
How many stones do we have?
I think you have, 3?
3 phosphor
right.
stones, 1 sunstone.
Yeah.
Wilhelm, do you want me to fire up your phosphor stone?
I don't remember if I have one or not. I don't think I do.
Okay. Well, Saoirse's got hers out, so you can see by the light of hers. All right, so Saoirse, if you're moving around and looking with the light, when your light illuminates that statue, it's Callista.
And Callista would be...
Princess Callista.
Okay, so... Daughter, sister of Bridget, what?
Daughter.
Okay.
The eldest daughter. The chandelier, at one, you can tell, even shattered as it is, must have been just breathtaking at one point.
Yeah. She'll point that out to the others that it's a statue of Callista inside. So she's already pointed out the king and queen.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Wilhelm, are you looking for herbs?
I am.
All right.
My supplies were used up on the island, so when I used what we found by the oasis to get us back on the ship.
Well, I think we made some changes, if I remember correctly. Hang on.
Man, the noun of that sentence was cut out entirely.
Oh, sorry. I was saying, I think we made some changes.
We did, but I really haven't had anywhere to look.
They're all
on the OT.
Oh, no, I mean to how you gather. I'm pulling that up real quick.
Yeah, as long as I spend time walking,
You're gathering.
I get a I have my new field harvest.
Mm-hmm.
If a benevolent spends at least 8 hours traveling in the wilderness, they gather 1d6 materials.
Okay.
Bonus penalty may be added depending on the condition of the area.
All right. So you're gathering as you go, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get that roll out in just a little bit. You are finding stuff. Like you guys, as you're walking, you can see Wilhelm kind of, he'll pull up like this weird purple fungus every now and then and be like, oh, great, this is perfect. Or, you know, kind of a black-leafed little like weed that's kind of growing at the edge of the tent. It's just like, oh yeah, this is great, you know.
Okay.
So he's gathering as you go. He's actually being fairly successful.
Listener standing pretty close to Wilhelm as we go places. He's not mentioned this. He is kind of prepared to just body block things that come for him. He has noticed that his poor fleshy friends just don't seem to recover very quickly.
This is true.
In the
Wilhelm
meantime,
will
he's
not
going to
let
poke
on.
around in the tent.
But he's at 3 hit points.
Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Listener, you said you're looking in the tent?
Yes.
All right. Spread out in a circle like a wagon wheel are 9 bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they've been here for some time, but they have not decayed beyond, you know, the flesh kind of pulling back against the bone and sinking in and becoming gaunt. They're emaciated, but their eyes are all wide open. Their mouths are all completely shut.
Are there spirits standing over them?
No.
Interesting. Are they walking around at all?
In the tent,
In the camp.
there is not a single spirit in the tent.
Ooh. Exciting. I motion for Wilhelm to stand back. I say, these may be proper undead.
I will do what's best.
You know full well that they won't attack me.
Yes. But you also know that if they try to attack the others, I'm probably gonna step away.
It's true. I call for Az. I say, Az, we may have an issue here momentarily. I suspect these bodies may still have their spirits attached somehow. And then I'm going to enter the tent and have a closer look at them.
Okay. Give me a...
If it's a trap, I get advantage on the check.
Give me an investigation roll, please.
Okay. Is it a trap?
No.
Okay.
Everything explodes. Do you have advantage on your investigation?
No, I had that left on from the last thing I
Okay.
made. I might... No, almost certainly not. Unless this is a secret door of some kind.
Okay. So
Then no, the 10.
now, granted, you're kind of looking around and be like, "Yep, they're dead.
Yeah, that's dead.
That's dead folk. They're not moving."
Yes. Now that I'm right up on them, you know, they're not moving, but I've seen a lot of zombies. I can see spirits that are confined to their flesh still, even in undeath. Is that the case here, or are these just corpses?
These appear to be just corpses, as far as you can tell.
Listener's poked around. He's like, looked in some of their pockets.
Oh, they're naked.
Oh, they're naked? Okay, that's different. He has
Sorry.
not looked in their pockets.
Yeah, no, they are all stark naked.
He gets back up and he says, actually, perhaps these simply died before the blight came down.
It is a little odd that they're laid out like they are.
Yes, this is... No, that couldn't be, because all the other corpses are likely rotted away, and these seem so preserved. Listener's puzzled.
What would you like to do with your puzzlement?
Contemplate it while you allow the scene to transfer elsewhere.
All right. Stop. So, anybody else doing anything?
Anything else interesting that Saoirse can see around the wreckage? She's not going to stray far from her friends, but no. Anything else interesting?
So, as you step into that entryway there, as you start to kind of illuminate this area,
Yeah.
it's just strewn with bodies, just like the ones in the tent, desiccated, gaunt, kind of hollowed out looking, eyes wide open, mouths shut, just each one laying there, like with their hands clasped above their breast, laid out.
Everyone, I think there's some more corpses in here too.
Do, 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 do. Amble over.
Okay.
Can Saoirse tell what race they are from here? I assume pre-blight Shanakesians, but
If you had to guess, yeah.
Yeah, they're sort of arranged like that away.
They're not arranged like in the circle like the other ones were, but they are laid out. Like every one of them is in the exact same pose.
Oh, that seems odd. I will approach.
Okay. So any further and you're going to be stepping on them. There are that many.
Gotcha. So they're all in the same pose. What was that pose again?
Laid on their backs, hands clasped on their breast, eyes wide open, mouths shut in a thin line.
I'll call back for Wilhelm.
Yes.
My friend, I am best with post-death, but I believe we may need to know how these people died. What is your opinion on it?
Well, let me inspect. And I would like to inspect the bodies. First off, figure out roughly how old they are.
Okay. Give me an investigation roll, please.
Advantage because of anatomy.
Sure. If anyone will have advantage on this, it's you. 19?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Wilhelm, you kind of kneel down and kind of start taking a closer look at these bodies. The first thing that you notice is, number one, very faintly, every single one of them has some sort of mark burned into their forehead. It's been a long time, so they're hard to tell at this point because of the state of the flesh. But they're all there, and they're all the same mark. The second thing you notice is that their mouths are sewn shut with an internal suture. Every single one of them.
That's weird.
A point of death is you're having a hard time nailing down a point of death. They're preserved remarkably well for some reason. You're not sure why. or how. This is likely something beyond medicine. Probably something arcane.
Can I tell if the sutures inside the mouth were done post-mortem?
Give me one more investigation check. You can keep your advantage.
Okay.
Okay. No. These were
Okay.
done while they were alive.
Oh, wow. Yikes.
Yeah,
This
that's rough.
I'm going to ask for one more piece of information from that.
Okay.
They were all done, you said. How does it look clean?
How does it look
Basically,
what?
I'm trying to figure does it look clean? Does it look like they were struggling, or if they all did this willingly?
No, there's some
all of-
signs. There's some tearing, signs of struggle for sure.
Okay.
Ironically, though, it's not enough. You would expect more if someone was unrestrained, or even just like tied up, even, and had that done while they were still alive and aware. There would have been a lot more damage. But there's just enough damage to show based on your roll that it was not a willing procedure and they were awake when it happened.
Okay. It looks. I cannot discern a particular cause of death. Unfortunately, it's been a little too long. Though the bodies do have something in common. They all have a particular mark on them. I can't make out what it is. Too much degradation, but they do all this mark. In addition, all of them look like their mouths were sewed from the inside. And it does appear that this was done while they were still alive. This evidently is a ritual and involving some sort of magic.
This whole time she's just going to, like, her mouth will be agape, her like eyes, sort of her pupils going small, hands clasped over her mouth, like she's just in shock and horror.
Listeners having flashbacks to the circus.
It reminds
He has a
me
suspicion.
of something known as, I believe it was referred to as necromancy, at least in the books I read. Supposed to be a deplorable magic.
Listener looks back to the spirits. What are they up to?
Not a single spirit has crossed the threshold of this building.
But outside here on the beach.
Still doing what they were. Still watching, heads bowed.
Of course, of course. They're not at peace, they're bound. In service of who? We must stop Sticky Bones. Oh, we're fucked. Oh, we're totally fucked, actually.
If it was even Sticky Buns, because, like...
No. He was trying to get here. He didn't do this. He wants control over it.
Are you saying that someone that he could control these people?
Ghinkgo giving us the bonk image again. The bonk will be necessary, I suspect.
That's some pretty detailed artwork there.
Yeah, that's actually pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Big fan.
I like that the horse is standing on top of the orty too. So,
Listeners growing distracted, he tries to make his way around the bodies a little deeper into the complex.
all right. So I will say, from where you're standing right there, if you're looking up from the bodies and looking around, one thing that you are seeing based upon what's illuminated is this. This right here is actually a pile of bags, cloth, wood, and like wooden crates and barrels. Some of them are in bad shape, but some of them look like they're intact.
Well, something to check, certainly.
You will have to walk across the bodies to get there.
I'll step gingerly, I'll
Okay.
not smushing anybody here.
All
And
right.
Saoirse will likewise follow, being
Right.
as careful and respectful as she can.
Consider this difficult terrain.
Gotcha.
All right, so yeah, you can see it. Also, you see another bundle here, much like the one you're investigating now, and another here.
Yes, multiple piles.
Yeah, you'll see them as they illuminate.
Gotcha.
So you make it to the bundle. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna lift some stuff up, kind of look inside. You say there's barrels. I'll see if any of them are open.
Okay.
I assume some of this pile will be clothing.
And give me an investigation roll. Saoirse, are you assisting?
Yeah, actually.
Go ahead.
I'll pop an advantage on there.
Go ahead. Much better.
That's a little bit better.
Much better. So you start
Got the
digging.
Shauna Keishan here to point out some things.
Yeah, you missed that. No, right there.
Yeah.
There, that.
That
So
one's a shirt, actually.
you start digging through. All right. A lot of it is rotten junk. To be fair, some of it is clothing. The clothing is pre-blight Shunakesian, so even though it's in tattered, you can just look at it and be like, wow. Hand spun silks and cottons, and it's gorgeous, dyed colors you could almost wonder if you've ever seen before.
Oh, hey, this looks a bit like what I'm wearing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous clothing. It's just ruined.
Saoirse would still take some of it.
That's fine. Yeah,
It's important to her.
you can. I have no problem with that. It's two of the barrels. They're smaller. The little mini barrels.
Yes.
Contain some kind of alcohol. I'm not sure if listener would even really differentiate between types of alcohol or not. It's not really
No,
something he would like.
Yeah, he would struggle to tell one from the other. He can, chemically, he'll say, "Oh, yeah, that's got some spirits in it." The other kind, not my kind.
One of the crates has jarred preserves, sealed.
So food.
How unlikely.
Preserved and sealed.
Yeah.
I mean, wax sealed in glass containers.
Properly, see.
Yeah.
Still, very nice to see.
These are actually edible rations.
Hey,
A little bit of
look at that.
just, oh, well.
Remember, the Shunakesians were prodigies in everything they did, including cooking and preserving.
As evidenced by Slatra.
Exactly.
I will note down these acquisitions.
I don't know if you shared the barrels at all, or if Saoirse, did you look at the barrels?
She probably saw the barrels.
Yeah, I mean, she's helping listener, and like, you know, with that 28 investigation roll.
She's doing a lot, actually.
I suppose she's seeing like a lot.
These are 2 mini barrels of Shanakesian brandy.
Ooh.
These you could probably buy a decent sized house with in Armun. Or Kovar tea, or you could. That's how valuable these are. Just so you know, this stuff does not get made anymore. The secrets to make it are lost.
She will take them.
Okay.
I
All
have
right.
noted them in the inventory.
Now you did get a critical success, even though I know that's not supposed to be a
True
thing.
facts.
I still like to make that count. At the very bottom of this pile is a large spread of old, rotted vellum and parchment just spread out underneath it. Now, granted, this is very old and rotting and fallen apart and wet. So most of it is just mush. However, as you pull away from it, you can kind of make out a lot of symbols and scribblings on it. There are a number of just arcane symbols. You recognize them as arcane. Not necessarily what they are because of the damage. And you get the sense that based upon some of the sigils that there was, you recognize like the necromancy symbols, I will say. Like the sigil for necromancy is repeated.
Okay, I'll certainly take that out. I will lift whatever stable section of this can be had.
Oh, it's rotten to the core. There's nothing salvageable. You're just picking this up by looking.
I got you. Well, in that case, I will simply hunker down over it and look real close. I've got the Arcanist Enhanced Vision. I've got the Arcanist's ability to interpret scrolls.
This is true.
So I will be doing my best to read it.
Okay. Well, the damage is more than to you be able to pull anything really usable out of it.
Yes.
Um,
So instead, I will ask, structurally, was this a scroll or was this something else?
it looks like the tattered remnants of a journal.
Gotcha.
I will say, though, you got a crit. I'm going to give you one more little bit.
Yes.
There's a name.
Oh?
A last name, perhaps? Enoch.
Enoch. I shall note. This is ringing something in my actual memory.
Can Saoirse see this?
Well, he's definitely fixated on it. You probably see him looking specifically at this and uncovering bits and having a close look.
Saoirse will look herself.
So here, Saoirse, I'm going to put this in chat so you can see the spelling. Enoch.
Yeah. Because out of character, I know what this is.
Do you?
If it is historical, I have a slight chance at it, but not a great one.
It is historical, and Saoirse pointed out the first names of these people.
Yeah. Which would be
Well,
pretty
you
easy to
have
figure it out.
Yeah, I'm just, would Saoirse know their last name?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Okay, so... She is looking at the last name.
Yeah.
All right. Then I think she'd look over to listener and say, I don't know what your interest in that word is, listener, but that's the last name, the family name of Queen Bridget and her family.
How curious.
All of the crumbled statues on this island, it's all the Enoch family.
In fact, right here is another shattered statue.
I walk around.
Saoirse will peek around too.
You'll pick that one out as Constance.
And that's a statue of Constance, listener.
It's another one of the princesses.
Middle child.
Mm-hmm.
All is not well here. Church, would you like to cut back to our people on the Ortiz so they can be attacked by sticky bones?
Sure, would you guys like to be attacked by sticky bones?
I think there's only 2 of us left of that 3,
Kris did develop.
and it's 11:53. So
Yes.
That's fair. That's fair.
How about we go check out the other pile?
Okay. We can do that real quick. There's one here that you can see and another big one here.
Sure. Let me just... We'll do it the same as before, I guess. I'll give you some advantage.
And you've revealed another statue here, by the way.
Good rolls.
Yeah.
That one is Dara.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That's the Prince Dara.
She'll point that out as well.
So that was pretty good. The 26 investigation, very good. So once again, you're gonna find another crate of preserves.
All right. I increment.
You're also going to find a preserved crate of herbs and alchemical devices.
Ooh.
Once again, a lot more rotten cloth, tattered remnants of some other crates and barrels.
Yeah, Saoirse's grabbing the clothing.
And then, once again, a pile of paper underneath all of it. You got a pretty good roll.
Yep.
Once again, you're going to see the necromancy sigils. Not enough to piece together anything. I will say that you got one more letter of the name. The last letter of the first name is the letter E.
Okay.
The real letter E or some made up letter E that looks like the word?
It's in
The
Shawnakesian.
letters I, O, and N. Okay, so some weird
Shawnakesian.
letter E that looks like...
All right. I have noted this down in my copybook.
Wait, last letter of the first name or last name?
First
First
name.
name.
Oh, out of character, I know. I think I have a guess.
First name ends in E.
Wait, would Saoirse... Okay, so she knows, like, all of the family, and there's, like, one statue that she has not seen, or would she know? That last...
Give me a history check. Give me a history check.
You may assume listener is doing a running commentary as he goes, because now he's just fully fascinated.
Yeah, do I, normal or advantage?
I give you advantage. It's fine.
Okay. Just had to... Now my old token showed up, what?
What was going on?
How does Roll20 work?
That
actually?
is so weird. Oh,
Ooh,
Oh, that's
rip.
bad.
yeah. I will say. You've gone through all the statues. You've seen the names, and they've kind of come back to you. You haven't thought about these people in a long time. The royal family, as they were 100 years ago. Constance comes to mind.
The name could be Constance, listener.
You did see the statue of Constance, so that's possible.
Were they known for necromancy?
No.
No, not as far as I can tell. Cough out of character, Phoebe.
Yes, I don't know. It must have been. Listener looks back and forth, makes a quick comparison to what was achieved by the last necromancer he ran across. Must have been a very powerful one.
Indeed.
Yeah, shall we call it there?
We can.
Listener did make rolls for, both of the piles.
Oh yeah, we were gonna
Yeah.
look at the two piles and then call it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Let's get the last one.
Okay. Let's see. So you'll find another crate of herbs, one more crate of food, one more barrel of brandy,
Yeah, she'll get that.
more of the rotting clothes if you want to take them,
Yeah.
and the papers are still there. This particular pile, you also find a curved silver needle, still in pristine condition. It's maybe about an inch long. Wilhelm, if you're over there with them.
I am. And you said you were wanting commentary. Are you?
Yes, I'm just talking about symbols, and I say, oh, look at that.
You'll
It's a very
recognize
nice
it.
needle.
It's a stitching needle. It's curved to make that movement easier when you're giving stitches. But it's pristine, silver. It's untouched by age or time or damage.
Listener, if I can, well,
Oh yes, here
first
you
off,
are.
and then the herbs also. I'd be very interested, along with the alchemical.
Oh, please, certainly. He's just been piling them up by the door, basically.
Yeah, I figured we were taking all of the alchemical everything and the herbs for Wilhelm.
Smart move.
Does the stitching needle? Now I know this may be difficult. Look like it's the right size to be stitching the inside of someone's mouth.
Oh, yes.
Like it would, man.
Definitely.
I believe this might have been what was used to suture the mouse. Implies that this is old. And if that's the case, the condition is odd.
Yes, this is highly suspect. We'll have to find out how next time.
Next time. That works. Wilhelm, did you re-add your full name to your token there? Or did that mysteriously
No,
pop back
did
up
it
too?
do that too?
Oh no.
What
Oh
is
no,
going?
no, no.
Wait,
no,
Roll20
no.
is being really wonky tonight.
No kidding.
in the weirdest way possible too. But yeah, no, we can call it there. And I apologize to you guys who stayed behind on the RT. I know this was probably not terribly exciting while you guys were sitting there waiting. However, the search was very fruitful. Very, very fruitful. Wilhelm, you basically have. You know what? Let's put it to the dice. I like dice. You like dice? I like dice.
I
Bless
do. D100?
You have enough to make 17 products out of the herbs that you've scavenged and the herbs that you found in the crates. The alchemical supplies I put in there as a gift. They were supposed to be there, but they're in pristine condition as well, having been crated and stored properly. This will allow you to repair your laboratory and replace the things that you lost.
Hey.
Ooh.
Because you're probably going to need those going forward. Food, as far as what you found with just the preserves, and granted, it's something you guys are going to get sick of eating after a while. You know, even though they're delicious. But this will keep you guys going for, if you ration it, we'll say at least a month.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like Saoirse will be keeping like careful notes whenever they eat this, just because like this is traditional Shawneesian food. Like she's like, oh yes, like let me recover the culture of my people.
Yeah, these are actually very big finds.
Yeah.
worth a substantial amount of money.
Especially in the case of the brandy. I feel like especially in the case of the clothes, that she'll be like, you know, I feel like Saoirse, okay, I don't know if this is a me thing or if Saoirse would actually be interested in this, but trying to recreate the clothing from the extant garments that she found.
Well, even if you don't have the skill, you might be able to find someone or work with someone that does. You know, when you get into a settlement or whatever.
Yeah, but like I don't know if Saoirse would be interested in, or if it's just this is Prim the player's like recent interests in like historical clothing like seeping into it.
Well, Saoirse's always been really big on her recovering her culture, and I think this would count.
True, fair. Yeah, I'm almost kind of like she's not really like big on alcohol, but I almost kind of wonder, like, you know, would she crack open one of those barrels of brandy to try and, like, you know, figure out the recipe?
Hey, you guys have at least earned a drink, right?
Yes. However, it is nearly priceless. And for the first time in a million years, we might be at a place where we can sell it.
You are pretty close to Stonebridge.
Surely there's a merchant.
Oh, there are definitely merchants in Stonebridge.
Yes. The Kulvarkt will be everywhere.
Yeah. But you luckily have someone in your party who has been to Stonebridge a lot.
Yes.
So if you want to ask, I'm sure Uki would love to tell you all about Stonebridge. Maybe.
Uki will take us to see her cousin.
Unless Uki just doesn't want to talk to you anymore.
No.
Yeah, Uki definitely will show you around Stonebridge and where to get the best merchants to deal with and the ones to maybe negotiate with them a bit.
Very nice, very nice.
But yeah. So yeah, before I get completely sidetracked, I know we've got that. I woke up chained inside a wall. Yeah, that's fair. So once again, next week we're back to Sigil.
Sigil.
Still waiting on a final day that we're going to make the full transition to Featherfall. Once we do, we are going to have a recap session. That's the plan. Which, honestly, I think it could be a lot of fun just to sit down and go over everything. We can even reach back, you know, Farmer's Wife, and just kind of let's go over the story. Let's tell what happened.
Prepare for an oral retelling of Stapleton Investigations and Sigil Confidential.
Honestly, I think we'll pretty much have to, because the thing is that Stapleton Investigations, the outcome of that campaign influences both the Cairne Legacy and Sigil Confidential. Cairne Legacy, the world; Sigil Confidential, the people.
Very much. And there is the one binding tie that holds them together. Maury Wickletongue.
Yes.
Out and about.
Ironically.
Somehow, still.
Ironically.
And technically the Cataclysm.
Yeah. It's all tied together oddly. But honestly, I think that's going to be a lot of fun for us, for anybody that's just joining, for anybody that joined later on and didn't see all that. And even for you guys, some of our current players, like, this is history that they've missed.
Yeah. What's funny is I still have all the write-ups of like every episode of Sigil Confidential. I recap starting from like when I started doing this, like in the middle of A Pound of Flesh. Like my first recap was the session where Timber was turned to ashes. Like I could literally just like string all of those recaps together and give us the back half of Pound of Flesh. All of important details and everything that's happened in Hell to Pay so far.
That's pretty wild. That is pretty wild. I think, like I said, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be a night of the round table. We may even have some special guests. People who have come and gone. Well, I might do some reaching out and see if I can get some special guests to come sit in and say hi.
Yes. Please.
Definitely, if nothing else, at least Chance can come. It'd be nice to revisit Kong and Jimmy Snapcrack and, you know.
Big
So
Jimmy.
is that in? When do you think that will be? Will that be in 2 weeks?
We don't have anything set in stone. It's definitely going to be in September.
Definitely gonna be in September, probably on a Friday.
We'll definitely see, though. We have to get with them and finalize everything, but it's coming. And I'll let you guys know as soon as I do as well. Like, I'll tell you guys before I tell anyone else. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. I hope tonight was interesting. I know it wasn't breakneck exciting, but I hope it was at least interesting.
You tempted me into motion. You know? I was tempted.
Well, I mean, I wanted you guys to find some supplies, but at the same time, if you hadn't, you're not too far from Stonebridge. So I know that's kind of a destination port. At least I think it still is, assuming.
I mean, it could blow up before we get there.
It could. Well, I mapped out the whole town, so...
Yeah. No, we're planning.
I'm prepared if you go there. And it was an excuse to do it. But yeah, we'll be back with Sigil Confidential next week. Are we Star Warsing Friday?
No. This last one we missed was Star Warsing. This Friday will be Towering.
Okay, this Friday we're Towering. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Wednesday, Tomb of Annihilation, and there's so much going on, so much room for activities.
Like all weeks, a busy week.
Busy week. But yeah, we will see you guys then. Thank you for tuning in, and good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.